Halle Berry recently spoke out during a Q&A for the City Summit Gala. The actress, who has been married 3 times, said, and I quote, "As women, we go into marriage thinking it's going to last forever and that this is our prince on a shiny horse. That's what fairy tales taught me as a kid, and I'm kind of anti-fairy tales today."
Really?
So, ladies.
Wow.
NeNe, what you think? I mean, does happily ever after really exist?
Happily ever after really exists.
I think so.
Yes, it does. It really does. You know, sometimes I get kind of irritated when I hear women, because they've been in a bad relationship or they had a breakup, they start acting like, all men are this, all men are that. Look, any couple that you see that's been in a relationship for 20, 30, 40 years, obviously they have gone through something. There's no couple that hasn't gone through anything.
Yeah, for sure.
What makes it a fairy tale is that you get to the other side.
Boom. Very, very true.
You better say that.
It's about the journey.
It's about the journey. I feel like I'm on a fairy tale. I love my husband. Obviously, I've been married and divorced and still married to the same man. You know what I'm saying? Like, who marries the same guy?
So you, who marries the same guy? But we've even talked about this.
Yeah.
You guys got divorced. How long were you guys apart?
About 2 years.
And then you got back together.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a fairy tale. Look, I'm not saying that the way I did my relationship, someone else should do theirs, but I felt like at that time in my relationship, you have to teach people how to treat you.
It's true.
And so that's all I'm doing. I just let him know this is not what I'm accepting.
Yeah.
And when you get it together, I'll still be here because I still love you. So when he got himself together, he was back over here. And honey, I'm still Miss Leakes.
True love.
Yeah.
That definitely is true love.
That's true love.
And I think when I hear happily ever after, to me, it doesn't mean that it's perfect.
Correct.
No.
Because I don't think any marriage is perfect. I think marriage is what you make it out to be.
Yes.
And
Oh, God.
What?
This
Fine,
girl.
Lonnie. I honestly, Adam and I, we choose to be happy.
Yes.
And we choose to respect and honor each other. We genuinely love each other. And we work hard at it every day to make sure it stays that way.
That's right.
That's being happily married.
That's right.
I think people give marriage and love a bad name because, yes, they do watch these fairy tales. And guess what? Your fairy tale may not be someone else's fairy tale.
Well,
that's also really important. Everybody's fairy tale is different. Somebody's has a divorce in the middle of it and it ends up great. It's a beautiful story for them. That's their your fairy tale may be something else. So I think watching a movie and saying, well, this is exactly how it's going to be. He's going to be on a white horse and he's going to be in, shining armor. That's not, I think that's where people take it too far.
Right.
And I don't think anybody thinks their husband or their knight in shining
prince
armor is riding on a white horse, but he could ride up in a white Rolls Royce. You know? That would be the real.
But that would be your fairy tale. You know what I'm saying?
At the bank.
Somebody else, a white Honda Accord is going to be their fairy tale, and that's just fine.
This is my issue with fairy tales,
What is your fairy tale,
This is the issue I have with fairy tales for young children, especially girls.
Yeah.
It programs girls into this, and I think that's what Halle is going to, into this thinking that this is what is going to happen. You always hear about Beauty and the Beast. Why the man can be ugly, but the woman can't? You never heard of the Prince and the Frog Face bitch. You never heard of that. You never...
But it's true. That is so real. That is so real.
You okay, Tam?
I am. I'm just trying to figure out, would I watch that?
You know, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see how you see, and I'm just worried that little girls are programmed when they hear these fairy tales, and then they get into certain positions because sometimes when you start off in a relationship, like I could say, I've honestly hung around all of your husbands and your relationships, and they're true relationships. And then I've hung around people that have had bad relationships.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that it's just, we just have to make sure that we're careful when we're talking about fairy tales to our young children.
That is true.
And young girls.
I agree with that. I do have to give my parents and my friends props for telling me the reality of marriage before I got married.
Yeah.
So I knew what to look for and what I was going, to get into. My mom, she is so real, and I think that's the reason why I am on a show called The Real. Miss Darlene. I remember having my first heartbreak, and I remember crying to her, saying, "Oh my gosh, Mommy, I'm just so hurt." And I remember her hugging me, looking at me, saying, "Honey, this hurts me. I'm hurt because you're hurt, and it breaks my heart. However, this is probably not the last time this is gonna happen to you."
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
I remember in the moment, I was like, well, dang, geez.
Yeah.
But guess what, you guys? She was right.
Yeah.
She set me up for that reality so that I learned in the future how to protect my heart just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you, Miss Darlene, for that.
Go, Miss Darlene.
Miss Darlene.
I love that.
I love that.